Hey, what's going on, guys? Ben, aka Saucy, and today I'm bringing you guys another video. And if you are new around here, I upload Falcons content, NFL content, some Madden content, college football content. Maybe not the latter ones, mainly, but my last video was about Kirk Cousins. This is maybe becoming a Kirk Cousins update YouTube channel. Maybe I should change my name and PFP to Kirk Cousins because I'm just a Kirk Cousins update merchant. But anyways, there was some semi big updates dropped on X today. His at is Slick Rick Scoops. So shout out to him. It says, quote, hearing the Browns are making a big push to trade for Kirk Cousins, not Dak Prescott. Came out earlier today on a podcast that they were looking to trade for Dak Prescott, the Browns were. But it doesn't make sense. And even the guy who talked about on the podcast that doesn't move the needle for the Browns, and he has such a massive cap hit, even more than Kirk Cousins, and he would cost a lot more than Kirk Cousins. The Falcons just want to get off Kirk Cousins, but the Cowboys would actually need something in order to move Dak. So I don't know why they would do that. But anyways, it goes on to say Kirk would need to waive his no trade clause, obviously. And the guy says, I don't see him doing that if the Browns plan to draft Shador Sanders. And Cleveland is pivoting after missing out on Danger Russ. If you didn't know, Russell Wilson signed with the Giants on a 1 year deal. Side note, I don't know what the Giants are doing. They have Tommy DeVito, Jameis Winston, and now Russell Wilson. Are they just not going to go quarterback in this draft? I mean, it would kind of be smart in my opinion because I don't really like any of the quarterbacks in this year's draft. You can check my NFL mock draft video I posted a couple weeks ago if you want to see where I think quarterbacks are going. I'm in the process of making my 2.0 mock, so subscribe for that. Yep, thank y'all. But anyways, so this means for the Browns that they can get Kirk Cousins for cheap. I don't even think the Falcons need a draft pick. Somebody said that the Falcons are rumored to be getting third round picks offered for Kirk Cousins, which I think is total BS. I'm not buying it for a single second because the Falcons have no leverage in this. Kirk Cousins has a no trade clause and he's making $1 billion. So, and he's made it clear that he does not want to be in Atlanta. So, why would teams be trying to give us a third round pick for him? It's just not true, at least in my opinion. So, what I actually think is going to happen is we're going to trade Kirk Cousins for like a seventh round pick swap. Literally nothing. Falcons get nothing except Kirk Cousins off their books. And you might be wondering, well, how much are we going to save by trading Kirk Cousins? Like, are we getting rid of all of his money, some of his money, none of his money? Like, what's going on? And to that, I say, it just depends. Depends on how much the Browns want to take on, depends on how much we negotiate for them to take on. And hopefully they take on a good load, especially if they're not giving up any draft capital. So my best case scenario is like I said, well, best case scenario is we get a third round pick and they take on all of his cap. That's super unfeasible. So more realistically, I would like a seventh round pick swap and they take on all of Kirk Cousins' money and it's designated as a post June 1st trade. Because if we trade him pre June 1st, we take on $27.5 million of dead money. But if we do it after June 1st, we actually save $12.5 million. So I would very much rather prefer us do that. And I don't know if that's possible. I'm not an NFL rules and cap guru to know if you can designate trades to happen post June 1st. But I'm sure you can. People do the same thing. Like the Debo Samuel trade was it went down before you could actually do trades, but it was just designated to happen when the new league year started. So I'm sure they can do that. Now I don't know if it screws over the Browns. So I don't know if they're going to be like, no, we don't want to do that. Uh, we don't want to do that after June, and the Falcons are like, do it after June, and I don't know how that's gonna work. But anyways, so Falcons community obviously happy about this news that the Browns are trying to get Kirk Cousins. Not sure why Browns are doing this, but anyways, my 2 cents is even if the Browns go ahead and draft Shador Sanders, I highly doubt he's going to be a day one starter, week one starter. And if Kirk even gets just the ability to start the season, even if it's like a Michael Penix situation where he starts the season, he becomes ass, and then he gets benched, that's better than being the backup for the Falcons the whole entire season. So I don't know why he wouldn't waive his no trade clause. And plus, he gets out of Atlanta, which he obviously, I mean, he sat down with Arthur Blank a week or so ago and said how he does not want to be a backup next year and he would like to be traded. That's easier said than done. Lowbro needs to restructure his contract so that he doesn't make a bajillion dollars so teams actually want him. But again, he has all the leverage, so he can say, no, I'm going to keep my money, not going to waive my no trade clause unless it's a contender that wants to make me a starter, which isn't going to happen, or else you're just going to pay me $40 million next year. So I guess it makes sense from Kirk Cousins' point of view. He's sitting on $40 million. Why would he want to give it up? But he also wants to be a starter on a contender next year while making 40 mil. But the fact of the matter is that's just not going to happen. He's going to have to choose 40 million on the Falcons bench or I don't know, 10 million on maybe the Browns, maybe the Steelers. Steelers are probably his that's probably what he's holding out for at this point. Or maybe the Vikings, a reunion if JJ McCarthy is gonna sit another year, or I don't know. But yeah. So in conclusion, Browns want Kirk Cousins allegedly from a verified source, and I think they can do so without giving up any draft capital. Just depends on A, if Kirk Cousins waives his no trade clause, and B, if, sorry, A, if Kirk Cousins waives his no trade clause, and B, if Browns actually want him, and what money are the Browns going to be paying versus what the Falcons are going to be paying. Yeah. Also, non Kirk Cousins Falcons news. The Falcons restructured AJ Terrell's and Chris Lindstrom's contracts to free up $12 million in total for us right now. So right now we're $12 million under the cap, but we're not going to do anything with it. This is just cap to have some breathing room and also sign our rookies when the draft comes around. The draft is in about a month from now. Pretty exciting. I will make a video at some point detailing who I think the Falcons should draft and some player profiles that the Falcons should be looking at and are looking at, like Malachi Starks and other guys like that. I'm not going to go over the quarterbacks or the wide receivers or Ashton Genty because we're not going to draft them. We're looking more at Mike Green and players of that nature. So thank you guys for watching. And